both with excellent defenses, offenses, speed, punching power, both undefeated, both with belts. It would be a unification fight. It almost never happens. Almost never. In a 50-50 fight.
Period. That is the fight everyone should want. That is the #1 desirable fight in all of combat sports. There is no other fight that anyone should want more.
Beating at a great time, and whoever wins this fight should be the supreme 154-pounder right now.
Is this a fight that you dare to say is a 50-50 fight?
Yeah, it gives a 50-50 fight. I give it more, it's 50-50 in a sense, but because of the experience, you can go 60-40. 60 with Boots, 40 with Xander, but it kind of is a 50-50 fight, yes.
Max Kellerman appeared alongside Stephen A. Smith and offered a strong take on the highly anticipated clash between Jaron Ennis and Xander Zayas, pushing back against the common expectation that Ennis will easily control the fight. Kellerman stated that Zayas has the accuracy, tactical awareness, and calm mindset required to deliver a surprising result.
Thing to say, Boots is this future superstar. He beat this guy and that guy and that guy. Meantime, when you actually make the fights, and it's like, oh, he's really gonna fight that guy? Is he gonna win? Where are you with this?
Where I am, Max, is that I want to give a lot of credit to Xander Zayas. You know, Xander Zayas, young guy, he wanted this fight. He called for the fight, and he made it happen quick after the Virgil Ortiz-Boots fight fell apart. So fair play to Xander. He has a lot of confidence in himself, even though he's going to be the underdog. And you're right, Boots hasn't proven anything yet. Not his fault, but he hasn't fought anyone. He looks special. Now we're going to find out.
Stephen A. Smith emphasized that Xander Zayas is a standout prospect who hasn't received the level of attention he deserves, and noted that he has the potential to pull off an upset against Jaron Ennis.
Is special, and we need to recognize that, and he deserves to be seen, and he deserves.
Max Kellerman highlighted that Xander Zayas has deliberately taken on a high-stakes challenge by stepping into the ring with Jaron Ennis, putting both his standing and credibility on the line against one of the most formidable opponents out there, an outcome that could shape the direction of his entire career.
Think about Xander, you're right. You got to give him props. When you have a built-in fan base, in other words, it's not just that you're of a certain ethnic or national group, but you're undefeated. You've been groomed and promoted as maybe the future star that group's fan base will follow. You're risking a lot because you have a built-in economic engine behind you. And when you're a guy who can be put in a position to pick and choose, and you choose Boots, Gabe, what does that say?
Absolutely. This is a fight he definitely didn't have to take, man. You know, he's a 2-division champion right now. And for him to choose the toughest guy on paper right now, I mean, skill-wise, Boots, it's crazy. You know, it's crazy. He could have went a different route, but he took it.
Roy Jones Jr. commended Xander Zayas as a fully developed and adaptable fighter, pointing to his long reach, effectiveness at both close range and distance, and precise work to the body. He also emphasized Zayas' composure beyond his years, calling him one of the most complete and challenging contenders in the division.
Zayas is a very good fighter, a complete fighter, a fighter who I think presents next to the most, he's probably the second most difficult guy to fight in the weight class because he's rangy. He can do so many things. He can fight inside, he can fight outside. He's a great body puncher. He's a very, very respected guy, and I think he's very mature for his age. Boots, on the other hand, is looking for that coming out party type fight. So he got to fight somebody at this point. And because he couldn't get A, he went to B. And I like that about Boots because Boots saying, I want all the smoke. If this one won't take me, I'll go find the next one. And so since he couldn't make the fight with Ortiz, he made the fight with Xander. This is what you want to see. This is a barn burner, I think. May the best man win, but both of these guys are capable of becoming the biggest threat to Fundura in the weight class because right now, Fundura is still the king of the weight.
Roy Jones Jr. explained that although many fans were anticipating a matchup between Jaron, Ennis, and Virgil Ortiz Jr., he feels that a fight involving Xander Zayas could turn out to be even more compelling.
I really wanted to see Boots tested by another fighter beforehand. I wanted to see him fight Virgil Ortiz first because those,
At 54.
Yes, because those two guys were kind of on a collision course. However, I think Golden Boy and Virgil Ortiz had some issues. So now Boots went to the next best thing, which is even better than Virgil Ortiz. He went to Xander.
Robert Garcia also spoke highly of Xander Zayas, describing him as a skilled and self-assured young fighter. and noted that taking on Jaron Ennis represents a very serious test. Garcia acknowledged Zayas for embracing such risks early in his career and said his belief in himself and positive mindset give him a legitimate opportunity in the fight.
Boots versus Xander is a very good consolation prize to get if we're not getting Virgil versus either of them. What are your thoughts on that fight?
Look, it's a great fight, and Boots getting those challenges out there. Xander deciding to fight Boots on a very dangerous, challenging fight for himself. You know, you gotta respect, you know, that decision. You know, if the Virgil fight didn't happen, and then Virgil versus Boots is not happening, and Xander stepping in, you know, gotta respect that kid. You know, for being 23 and taking those challenges, you gotta respect that. You know, my pick, I would probably say, goes to Boots because talent-wise, but you know, Xander's positive about himself, man. He sounds very confident. I talked to him and he's very confident, very positive.
On the other side, many analysts argue that Xander Zayas shows certain patterns, such as dipping to his left during offense, which can expose him to short right hands and counter shots, something Jaron Ennis could take advantage of. While Zayas maintains good movement and a steady work rate, critics point out that he doesn't possess top-tier knockout power and has been caught clean by opponents without significant punching strength.
You were saying you watched the tape of Xander Zayas,
Right.
and you kind of touched on that. You know, he gets himself in certain spots where he doesn't throw punches. Go ahead and elaborate.
So when he's in the middle, so when he's on the center line, he might throw punches, but there's no power behind him. And if he's sitting on his right hand, same thing. He throws punches, quick shots, but those aren't the really dangerous shots. When he's trying to exchange and he wants to hurt you, you'll see his head go off center to the left over and over again. So he peaks sort of like, I remember Salvador Sanchez used to hit you with those joints, but then he'll peek over. So he'll peek over, throw a quick right hand, or he'll peek over, and if you freeze, or if he catch the right look that he's looking for, he's shooting a left hook or left hand to the body or left hand to the head almost every time. You know what I mean? And he throws with weight and with power. That's what he does to try to hurt his opponents, right? But that gets him caught because that's his rhythm. Every time he was there against Sparmer was hitting him with short right hands and was just timing his move. Like whenever he would peek over here, that short right hand was coming almost every time, and Sparmer was catching him right on the chin with those. And then when he's pulling back out of that, he's catching him with hooks. So he was short right hand, left hooks almost all day. It's just that Sparmer was a smaller guy, couldn't really hurt him, but he was hitting him. And that's what I pay attention to, is like, Boots is fast enough and athletic enough to still catch you in those positions, but it's not like you're fighting a smaller guy. Boots can hurt you if you get caught clean.
Terrence Crawford stated that it may be premature for Xander Zayas to take on a fight of this caliber at this point in his career. While he acknowledged Zayas' skill and self-belief, he emphasized that experience plays a crucial role at the highest level, suggesting more time is needed before facing elite opponents like Jaron Ennis.
Tough fight, you know, especially for Xander at this point in his career, but it shows his heart and his confidence, you know, that he has in himself, and he's ready to go make history for his country, and he's going to do real well in that fight. You know, I just think, you know, right now, you know, it's a little bit too early.
Jaron Ennis showed strong confidence leading into the announcement involving Xander Zayas, claiming he is the biggest name in the 154-pound division. He stated that he is ready to dominate the weight class, believes nobody can match his level of talent and excitement, and made it clear that this fight marks just the beginning of his control at super welterweight.
I'm feeling great, man. About to be a two-time weight division unified champ. Man, I'm snapping my legacy, man. It's only up, man. I'm about to show the world I'm the best in the world. I'm gonna continue to keep showing the world I'm the best in the world. Like this boxing game mine, straight like that.
Now, the bout with Virgil.
Jaron Ennis is currently the fighter most people are backing, and that level of attention appears to have strengthened both his confidence and self-belief as he prepares for the matchup with Xander Zayas.
You know, answering the questions that Boots was asking. So it was really one way.
Like I said, you know, both of the guys seem to be kind of, you know, I wouldn't say soft-spoken, but they seem respectful. You know, Bootsy always been kind of chill. I seen Xander being kind of chill. I can see, you know, Xander putting a chip on his back because everybody counting him out. You know, I can see him having a chip on his shoulder because everybody's counting him out. Everybody's just, you know, so high on Boots. So I can see that fueling him But as far as, Boots getting all tough with him, I don't understand that. I don't, he's the golden child. I don't understand what he got to feel like he got to do. I think his role is to just stay quiet and handle his business with his business.
Coach Reggie delivered a firm warning regarding Xander Zayas, recognizing his ability, while emphasizing that he still lacks the experience needed for elite-level battles. He described Zayas as a strong prospect, but cautioned that stepping in with top-tier fighters such as Jaron Ennis at this stage could reveal weaknesses in his development and overall fight timing.
Xander's a good fighter. I like Xander. I just think that Xander don't know enough. Yeah, take a fight like this. I mean, granted, you get in this game, you in this game to be the best. But I don't think he's ready for a fight like this. I mean, Xander's good, he can fight, but he's still a kid, he's still a baby. Still in learning stages right now.
A unified champion, right?
He is.
Big kid. Seems like he's getting better each and every fight.
And I agree, but Boots ain't careers, man. You know what I'm saying? Now, they want to pay him enough. You know what I'm saying? But they pay him enough, because I'm sure after they fight, he's not going to fight for a while.
Mike Coppinger believes that Xander Zayas accepting a fight with Jaron Ennis is a strategically smart decision from a business standpoint, even though he would enter the bout as the underdog. He explained that sharing the ring with a well-established, high-profile opponent like Ennis could greatly improve Zayas' visibility and value within the sport. According to Coppinger, even if the result doesn't go his way, the risk could still bring financial rewards and enhance his reputation among fans, promoters, and broadcasters. By choosing a tougher challenge instead of an easier path, Zayas demonstrates ambition and a willingness to test himself at the highest level, which may play a major role in shaping his long-term career growth and recognition in boxing.
In January, he can fight in New York. He's going to probably have the bigger fan support here. And I think this is a great business move for Xander, too. He's going to get a career-high payday. And like you said, 190 he walks around at. He hasn't had much more time at 154.
Yeah. And also, I'm thinking about is if you really watch Boots does look special all the time. But there's cases where he gets hit a lot. And you're like, man, for you to be so good and so special, why are you getting hit from some of these lower class fighters? So Xander might have seen that. So you know what? Yeah, I know Boots is special. I know he's really, really good, etc. But I see things in this game where
Jaron Ennis is regarded as one of the leading fighters in the 154-pound division, known for his elite skill set and strong reputation as a top-level competitor. Meanwhile, Xander Zayas drew attention by pushing for this high-risk matchup, even catching some within his own camp off guard by choosing a tougher path instead of a more conservative title defense. At the face-off, both athletes displayed clear confidence and exchanged intense stares and words, creating a tense atmosphere ahead of the fight. At just 23 years old and still gaining experience at championship level, Zayas appeared calm and handled the moment well. Still, Ennis's superior experience, composure in the ring, and proven success against elite opposition were widely seen. As major advantages entering the contest,
Boots is going to have confidence. He believes he's the best 154 in the world. Xander Zayas, who even people on his own side wondered why he was pushing for this fight. Even his trainer needed an explanation from him before he signed off on him taking this fight. His promoter, who admitted on the dais that his plan for Xander was to put him in MSG, put him in Puerto Rico, do a nice title defense. This was all Xander Zayas, but Xander on that stage continues to look like, act like, sound like a guy that firmly believes that he is the better fighter in this matchup. What were your takeaways from watching Boots and Xander face-to-face for the first time?
It was a fun press conference because Boots was really confident. He was brimming with confidence, and normally you see Boots more, more chill with a little bit more swagger. He's a little bit more, soft with his comebacks. But no, he was brimming with confidence, and him and Zayas were going back and forth, and I think Zayas handled it perfect. For a 23-year-old champion who hasn't really been against the best, he's facing somebody that's potentially pound for pound one of the best, and Zayas handled it. He handled it with flying colors, man. And I think Boots better respect what he has in front of him. Even though the measurements stay the same, I saw a bigger, younger fighter motivated to do something great.
Two rising forces are on a collision course as the confident young challenger steps up against one of the most dangerous and proven names in the division. On one side stands raw ambition and fearless decision-making, and on the other, elite experience, refined skill, and a track record built against top-tier opposition. The tension is already building, the confidence is visible, and the stakes couldn't be higher as both fighters prepare to prove who truly belongs at the top. This isn't just a fight, it's a statement waiting to happen. What's your take on this matchup? Drop your thoughts in the comments.